What's up, everyone? This is Destroyer229, and welcome to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. The first game in the Phoenix Wright series. This game was originally released on the Nintendo DS in 2005, and was part of the, remaster of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. Originally released in 2012, but was released on modern consoles in 2019. And that's the version that we are playing today. And, as an added bonus, this game was the winner of the 10-year subscriber special. You guys voted among 10 different options on what game I should play to commemorate the 10 years of the channel. And Phoenix Wright came out on top. I gotta say, commenting on the polls for a little bit and kind of watching it unfold, this was... Oh, by the way, you can also... Since it is part of the trilogy, there's also Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations. So in case... Those are also on the table for the future. But to comment on the polls, just for a little bit, it was actually surprising how close this was. For the longest time, there was a 4-way tie for first. And none of the games that were in that were what I was expecting. It was between this game, Danganronpa, Metroid Prime, and New Super Mario Bros. U. I mean, I was thinking that, like, the two games that were in both polls would be reasonably well, which were Undertale and Xenoblade. They really didn't do well at all. And poor Okami didn't get any votes, period. Which makes me really sad because I do want to one day do Okami, but apparently no one wants me to play Okami, so that's gonna get shoved onto the back burner for the foreseeable future. But anyway, it was actually rather exciting to see how the polls turned out, and you guys have spoken. So, without any further delay, let's begin. Episode 1, the first turnabout. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't really do anything, but I do know that Phoenix Wright is done episodically, so I guess we can choose what episode we can play. Since this is a blind Let's Play, though, we have to do them in order. So let's go ahead and do the first turnabout. Damn it! Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Why am I nervous? Right? Oh, hi, Chief. Oh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes a murder trial right off the bat like this. Says a lot about you. And your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's all over! Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair! I'm gonna die! Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Nick, you gotta tell me! Who took my baby away? Person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one. Which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Gulp. Hand shaking. Eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please, state the name of the defendant in this case. I guess it's just trying to make sure that I know general legalese, like in the most basic of terms. The defendant is Larry. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Oh, I know this one. I thought I read the case report to cover so many times. It's... wait. Oh. No, wait. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim! Of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the R button to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? Maya Fey, Cinder Block, or Sydney Stone? Okay, so court record is R. Attorney's badge. No, I believe it was defense attorney. Sydney's autopsy report. Time of death, July 31st, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. But it's Sydney. So that would be Sydney Stone. The victim's name is Sydney Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Okay, statue added to the court record. Statue in the shape of the Thinker, it's pretty heavy. Right? Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use the R button to check the court record frequently. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. There he gets excited easily. This could be bad. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together! We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony! Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped, she just wasn't taking my phone calls. Or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it lies! I don't believe a word of it! Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Okay, court record. Apparently arrived home from Paris on July 30th, the day before the murder. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears she had several, sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude. We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right? I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... Do it! Do it! Do it! My client had no oh man, I was really expecting the objection thing. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Ugh. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog? I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Ah, boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Oh, he went. Oh, what do I do? Well, this is actually kind of relevant, so I guess this is somewhat important. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order! Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. What was that? What the hell was that noise? That caught me off guard. Okay, compose myself. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank saw it to the stand. Really? Really? God, is everyone's name gonna be a pun? Okay. Please bring Mr. Frank saw it to the stand. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness account, okay. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Okay, building was out from noon to 6 on the day of the crime. Okay. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes! Yes, Your Honor? You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, right, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Wait, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave! Lies? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? And that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. In the court record with the R button, then point out contradictions in the testimony. Okay, cross-examination. Okay, going door to door, signing descriptions. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open. I wonder what that thing is up at the top right. I guess it'll become apparent eventually. Thing is strange, I looked inside the apartment. Saw her lying there, not moving. Unable to go inside. I thought to call the police. The phone in her apartment wasn't working. How would he have known that, though? Public phone, 1 p.m. I feel like that is important. Yeah, because the time of death is between 4 and 5. If she was already dead, well, if she was dead at 4 and 5 and the time was 1, she wouldn't have been dead. Press. There we go. 1 p.m.? Are you certain? Yes, absolutely. Huh. Seems really confident. 1 p.m.? Right, doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him. Okay. Now can I do this? Oh, present his X. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that, God, that is so freaking weird! This is trivial! The witness merely forgot the time! After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Saw It, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that is a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait! I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Okay. I guess this is another part of the testimony. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Bull crap, I call! I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right? You know what to do. I've got this one. Okay. This one is very simple, because it's the tutorial. Let's see. Probably coming from the television. That one might be it. 3 hours off. Tape program. Yeah, I think it is, this one. Probably coming from the television. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio? Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television. Right! I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television. The witness has testified. He heard the time. And that's all I need. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Oh, wait, where was it? Where was it? Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. There was a blackout. There couldn't have been the TV. The TV couldn't have been on. Hold it right there! The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait. I remember now. Mr. Sawit. The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Cross-examination again! Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. Oh, that must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Okay. Saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. The murder weapon. You used it to hit the victim. That I find a little bit hard. Yeah, because is it a clock? The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as the weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. Okay, yeah, because it's not a clock. It's a statue. And it straight up says statue. So yeah, I was thinking like the little plaque there, like, was that actually a clock? But no, it straight up says a statue. It's not a clock. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was the statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? You and your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it, and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Yes. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah, prove it! Prove I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you're the one who killed her! You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court! Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. saw it. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. God, every time! What is the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face! Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never! Look, the clock, I heard, no, I saw it! Oh god, I love this game already. Shut up, shut up, shut up! I hate you! It was him, I tell you! I saw him! He killed her, and he should burn! Burn! Give him death! Order! Order in the court, I say! Your Honor! A moment, please! There isn't a shred of evidence to point to the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. Better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sod heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Oh, geez. Okay, so now this is just a logic puzzle. So neighbors wouldn't do anything. I guess you could try sounding the clock, see if it would work. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything that I can do here. Oh, wow. That is definitely... Profiles. Ah, so that's what it is. Okay, so we got Mia. This doesn't really help us with anything. Generally bad at getting his points across. I guess just trying to... Okay, I think I see what the top right is. I'm guessing because there is that flashing bit, that would tell me just what would go down if I get it wrong, I'm guessing? I'm guessing that's essentially the equivalent of a life bar. If I get it wrong too many times, then I lose the case. I guess we could try sounding. Examining the clock's batteries, I don't think would really do anything. Actually, like, testing it out would be the way to do it. So, that's my logic. I'm gonna go with that. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Saw had heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Saw It, try to talk your way out of this one. Yeah. You forgot one thing. No. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it! I was so close! Mr. Wright? Seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Saw It. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens! You treat me like a criminal! A criminal! Your lawyers are all slime! Ugh, I almost had him! Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Saw It! Chief! Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think! But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Can't you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? I'm guessing it has something to do with the fact that she was on a flight? That would be my guess. I mean, obviously there is, because this can't be how it ends. Wait. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let him have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words! Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Yeah, apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30 the day before the murder. That has to be it, because that's the only piece of evidence that I have left. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Oh, jeez! Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness. He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. And with that, this court is adjourned. Turns out that Frank Saw It was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sod let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sod grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. I still can't believe we won. Right! Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over! Larry, you're supposed to be happy! What's wrong now? Nick! Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good! Wait, no! I mean, bad! Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Sinuin is gone, man! Gone forever! Larry, she was a... nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Damn it, Mia! Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, but hey! Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Uh-oh. Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick! Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Doesn't that make you want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Right. Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? I mean, the fact that she still had the statue. That makes the most sense to me. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick? I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. I hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully, you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen. Learn. Grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? So my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay us. Unless you count the clock he gave me, I didn't know it then. But that clock was soon gonna be at the center of another incident. And I promised to tell the chief about me and Larry. It would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. Alright, so that's the end of the first case. Alright, so this has been quite an interesting introduction to Phoenix Wright. Save your progress up to this point, sure. Oh, cool, I actually do have save slots. Turnabout Sisters. Okay, well, that will do it for us here. Got through the entire first case. Very exciting. And, wow, I honestly was not expecting a lot of those jokes. This is gonna be great. I can already tell. So, next time on Let's Play, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We are going to start on our second case, Turnabout Sisters. Although, that little bit at the end does sound very ominous. But we'll just have to find out what Phoenix is talking about next time. So, until then, everyone, take care.